The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johnson.
Hello and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Jim Allen.
And I'm Mary Johnson. Coming up on today's show, it's a tough year to be a farmer. In addition to the problems caused by this year's excess rainfall, a mild winter hurt Alabama's peach crop.
If we have a 10% crop this year, I think we're going to be extremely lucky.
A group of ladies is discovering a world of value beneath the shady boughs of Alabama's forests.
Essentially, it's for women who may own just a few acres of forest land to several hundred acres or more, and we want them to be able to understand about good land management.
And Sidney Phelps of Bonnie Plants and a friend of his who's a professional chef will show you how to create a meal with fresh vegetables from your garden.
Up first, though, I'm living out everyone's childhood dream, surrounded by millions of cookies fresh from the oven at Bud's Best Cookies in Hoover.
There's something exciting about to see your package on a shelf in the store that you created, that you started with nothing, and you see somebody buy that pack of cookies. That's so exciting.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
We all know the fictional story of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but along the Jefferson and Shelby County line, you can find Alabama's own version of Willy Wonka. His name is Bud Kaysen, and he's living out his childhood dream of running a cookie factory. A visit to Bud's Best Cookie Company in Hoover, Alabama is a treat for the taste buds and the olfactory senses. Over 1 million bite-sized cookies are mixed, baked, and packaged every hour in the factory. And it all began with the vision of Bud Kaysen, who grew up working with his aunt and uncle in their cookie business.
It all started when I was 12 years old, and I just loved it. I loved it. There's something exciting about to see your package on a shelf in the store that you created, that you started with nothing, and you see somebody buy that pack of cookies. That's so exciting.
Bud got into the business in 1970, but sold his company in 1986. After a 5-year non-compete, he started back in the cookie business with a new, big idea for small cookies.
I thought, boy, bite-sized cookies, that'd be an ideal thing. So if I made a little bite-sized cookie, I could run them on equipment that no one would touch it. So the first person to touch those cookies would be the one that opens that bag. So I call these guiltless cookies, those small bite-sized cookies.
Bud said people thought he was crazy to make a bite-sized cookie back in 1991. But his foresight helped spark a bite-sized craze, and this year earned him a coveted spot in the American Society of Baking's Baking Hall of Fame. It's a point of pride for Bud and his son Al, who is following in his dad's footsteps at the factory.
He loved it so much that he gambled everything that he had to get back into it with a whole new concept. And the innovation of that is really what sparked a lot of the bite-size everything. So, he was recognized for all of that and what he also does for the community and the things that he does quietly, just philanthropy that the philanthropist that he is.
The Kaysen family loves to connect with the community. Over 35,000 school children visit annually, and they get to ride in style on the cookie train, inspired by Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. While touring, we watched as vanilla wafers, snickerdoodles, and sandwich cookies moved from batter to finished product.
We have 24 varieties of bite-sized cookies. We have everything from the mini creams, all different flavors, to chocolate chip, to cookies made with Butterfinger, candy chip, all those different, different options that we have.
The most recent addition to the factory is a line where they make sugar wafers. The hope is to one day find a process for creating bite-sized sugar wafers. You can find Bud's Best Cookies regionally in Publix, Walmart, Dollar General, Family Dollar, and Dollar Tree. But they also have international customers and can be ordered online.
Something that we've done in the past 12 months is we've got a presence now on Amazon. And it's a great tool using our Facebook page to, tell the public that, hey, we've got a new flavor of cookie and it's going to be out in Dollar Trees only.
And with so many varieties to choose from, everyone has their own favorite.
Probably my favorite cookie, if I just open a bag, would be our butter cookie, our vanilla wafer, and I also love lemon cream.
It's almost like what's running today, because when you can eat them hot off the line, every cookie's delicious. But if I had to pick just two general cookies, it would be chocolate chip and vanilla wafers.
I just love those chocolate chip cookies, especially coming off the line back there.
And we're sure you can find a bite-sized favorite too. But take caution, the tastiness of these small treats might have you consuming just as many calories as the bigger cookies.
I probably eat about the same amount whether I was eating a small one or a large one. Sometimes you just can't stop. You open a bag and end up finishing it before you know it.
While we were at the factory, we got to see them making the vanilla wafers, and fresh out of the oven, they actually taste a little different than they do from the bag. They actually get sweeter as they're in the bag. Bud told us that they have a lot of customers who like to get vanilla wafers as treats for their dogs even. So not just people that like them.
Yeah, I'll buy vanilla wafers and put peanut butter on them for my dogs, and they love them.
That sounds like a good idea, Jim.
When Simply Southern returns, we'll get a female perspective on a vital state resource.
How do you show love? With the big things? The little things? The tough things? Your everything. Show them you care. Alpha Insurance.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
For 100 years, every Bonnie plant has started with two hands and a mission: to put fresh, homegrown herbs and vegetables on every table in America.
Who are you talking to?
The plants, they like it. Success starts and ends with Bonnie plants.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy.
One luxury Alabama enjoys among our nation's 50 states is our abundance of trees. With more than 20 million acres of forested land, Alabama ranks 5th for timberland in the United States. 70% of that is owned by private citizens, a portion of which, of course, are women.
Renee Smith's getting some pointers today on controlled burning of timber, an important issue for any landowner.
Burning is just a simple nature way of taking care of business, and I wanted to know more about it. I don't plan on burning myself, but I do want to hire a good team, and I want to be there with them and know what they're talking about.
Renee's one of many women in the state who found themselves more involved in land management over the years, which can be an intimidating prospect for someone new to the subject. Women in particular can be wary of seeking advice in what's often a male-dominated environment. It was with this in mind that the Alabama Extension System created the forestHER program.
forestHER is a workshop that's for, as we say, for women who love the land. And essentially it's for women who may own just a few acres of forest land to several hundred acres or more. And we want them to be able to understand about good land management, because so often women are not active participants in forest land management.
Combining classroom instruction with practical hands-on in-the-field activity, forestHER introduces participants to information and concepts critical to managing timberland.
We really want to be hands-on, get them again comfortable doing things in the field, as well as learning about the technical side of it in the classroom. And then we take them outside to actually apply it in the field. We teach them how to identify a few trees, how to use that compass in the field, how to measure tree diameters, tree heights. So we take them out, we teach them the basics inside, and then we actually help them apply it on outside, doing the hands-on activities.
Becky helped develop the forestHER program after witnessing the difficulty her grandmother had on her property.
She really wasn't informed on how to manage it or what the timber was even worth. And the person who cut it didn't do the job that she hoped or what she expected. You know, I got to thinking about the things that if my grandmother had known, that she maybe would have made some different decisions. And so in talking and just working around the state and talking to people, talking to women landowners, and it made me think, you know, we might have an opportunity to actually reach some of these people in a different venue, because we just really weren't reaching them with our traditional programs.
Managing timber is important for any landowner. Having the company of fellow ladies who share your concern can take away the stress from trying to see the forest for the trees.
You know, we don't try to exclude men by any stretch of the imagination, but we want the women to feel comfortable. They've been able to make friends and network and find people that are in the same boat as they are, maybe feel a little overwhelmed by their land management options and difficulties.
Not everything is 100% forestry when you sit down and talk to somebody, but you are developing new avenues that you didn't know just as a person. It's kind of like going to Sunday school one more time and hearing something that you've heard before, but you're going to hear something different or a new take on it.
Becky's been encouraged by the response she's received from the forestHER program and is already making plans for future workshops.
Another thing that people are really asking about is thinning, timber stand improvement. How do you manage your forest with thinning, and actually thinking about timber growth and forest growth and managing it from that standpoint. So that'll probably be one that we'll be doing in the fall.
As for Renee Smith, it's pretty clear one woman landowner will be feeling a lot more confident the next time she walks her own property.
I think that I will not hesitate to call Auburn now, and I don't think I'll ever start off with, this might be a stupid question, but I think I'm going to call and say, this is my question. You've given me the confidence just to ask it.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
The Extension System hosts programs for men, women, and even children throughout the year. For a full list of what they have coming up, visit their website at aces.edu.
And it's really interesting, the stuff that they got to learn at forestHER, especially that prescribed burn. I think a lot of people see those fires and they forget that that's a necessary part of being a landowner.
Yeah, without burning, that understory of growth would be impassable.
Very important step. If you've been having a hard time finding fresh peaches this summer, we'll let you know why there aren't many available when Simply Southern continues.
One out of 4 Alabama residents have benefited from the Alabama Cooperative Extension System. Last year, Master Gardener Managed Gardens donated $150,000 worth of fruits and vegetables to food banks, and over 25,000 young people developed math, science, technology, and engineering skills through 4-H. Now what we want to know is, how can we help you?
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock, catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Nothing brings the family together like U.S. farm-raised catfish. American catfish farmers are dedicated to producing a premium, healthy catfish with a consistently mild, sweet flavor. Because we take as much pride in our work as you do in your cooking. From our family farms to your family's table, you can be sure you're getting the highest quality fish. Because your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Too wet, too dry, too hot, too cold. Weather is always a challenge if you're a farmer. We told you last week excessive rain delayed planting for many farmers. But for peach growers, it was an unusually mild winter that is contributing to a shortage of peaches. Kevin Worthington has more from the heart of peach country.
The problem with this year's peach crop is really nothing that a good night's sleep couldn't cure.
It's like us not getting enough sleep. If we only had an hour sleep during the night, we're not going to perform very good the next day. And these trees are the same way. If they don't get their dormant hours, that's their rest period. And if they don't get that, they're not going to perform. So that's where we're at this year.
The difference between peach trees and people, however, is that people need 8 hours of sleep, while a tree requires 50 to 100 times that in temperatures below 45 degrees.
This particular tree right here is probably in the 550 to 600 hour range. And of course, we sprayed the Dormex on there to make up, I think you can make up like 200 hours of lost coal by spraying the Dormex. But these trees like this, they're in the 750 to 850 hour range. They hadn't put the leaves on, they hadn't grown. These trees back behind me here didn't even bloom this year.
Lynn says a number of factors are at play in his orchard. A drought last summer, a winter that was too warm for his trees to go dormant or sleep, and finally, a freeze when trees were blooming that wiped out most of his hopes for a good peach harvest.
If we have a 10% crop this year, I think we're going to be extremely lucky.
A poor peach harvest is bad news for more than just farmers. Experts say a lack of peaches will have an adverse impact on the economy in much of central Alabama.
For an instance, it's roughly a $10 million impact in the county itself. There are 30 to 35 peach producers in that state. And when you take a loss such as this, not only does it impact the rural community, but the domino effect goes on to the jobs that are employed with these peach producers and peach operations, the jobs that come along with the shipping, the jobs that come along with the packing and the sales that go into grocery stores, but it's also the specialty items that are generated, whether it's jams and jellies or canned goods.
Higginbotham says the problem is not just in Alabama either. Peaches are grown from here to the Carolinas, and the weather there has been similar to what Alabama farmers experienced.
I have heard reports Georgia is experiencing over 80% loss. South Carolina is in the 75 to 85% loss. It's not just an Alabama issue, it's definitely across the Southeast. The droughts, the cold weather when it was not needed, and the lack of cold weather when it was needed is across the Southeast.
Unfortunately, farmers say, a return to a more normal weather pattern won't solve the problem immediately. Some growers are predicting the damage this year's unusual weather has caused to their trees will take years to overcome.
We've got some 3-year-old trees that we set out, and over half of them are dead already. Another thing that I'm concerned about is the trees are so stressed that when they start putting out next spring, that they're just going to die, they're going to collapse. So this may be a 3 to 5 year thing. You know, you may have to push up peach trees and start all back over again, and you know, it's about 3 years before you can get any return on investment from a new orchard. So, you know, we may be looking at 3 to 5 years to recover from this.
For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
In addition to running his farm, Lynn also has an off-the-farm job that he was hoping to retire from in the next few years. But he says this year's crop may have pushed that dream farther into the future.
I tell you, I've got one lone peach tree. Didn't have many blooms, didn't have much fruit. It started raining, they all turned to mush.
Oh gosh, lots of weather challenges for our farmers this year. It just hasn't been good to them.
Been a tough one. When Simply Southern continues, Sidney Phelps from Bonnie Plants is in the kitchen with a professional chef this week, spotlighting a meal that you can make with fresh vegetables from your backyard garden.
How do you show love? With the big things? The little things? The tough things? Your everything. Show them you care. Alpha Insurance.
There's nothing quite like sitting down to a home-cooked meal with fresh vegetables from the garden. With Bonnie Plants from your local quality co-op store, you can enjoy the freshest vegetables right from your own backyard. And no matter if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, your quality co-op store has exactly what you need to get the most out of your plants. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education.
We're strengthening American agriculture and providing our members with the skills needed to build healthy local communities, a strong nation, and a sustainable world.
We are the next generation of agriculture.
It's our turn now.
Let's show the world what we can achieve together.
We are FFA.
For 100 years, every Bonnie plant has started with two hands and a mission: to put fresh, homegrown herbs and vegetables on every table in America.
Who are you talking to?
The plants, they like it. Success starts and ends with Bonnie Plants.
Hey folks, Sidney Phelps here with Bonnie Plants. Today we're not in the greenhouse, we're not in the garden, but we're here at beautiful Lake Martin in the kitchen of Copper's Grill, and I'm joined by the executive chef, Mr. Josh Jordan. Josh, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Copper's is well known for steaks, pastas, all things throughout the season, but one thing that you're really well known for are the summer specials. And tonight you've got a great special for your customers. Walk us through what you're using. I know that you use a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of fresh ingredients throughout the summer and even the winter season as that time comes through. So kind of explain to us where you get your vegetables from, how you source them, and what the special for tonight is.
Well, we use all locally grown vegetables around the area.
Okay.
We use them for all kinds of things on our menu, like our fish tacos, one of our top sellers. We make pico de gallo, fresh every day, shredded lettuce every day. It's really good.
Okay, so you're making pico in all season. It's around
All
here all the
season.
time. Okay. But tonight's special, you guys are doing a kind of a trick on a low country bull, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what have we got in front of us?
So we're calling this a low country foil.
Okay.
And what we have is some chopped onions, just white onions, some fresh corn, some diced red potatoes,
Yep.
some chopped celery,
All right.
some Cajun smoked sausage,
All right.
and some shell-on shrimp.
Okay, so those are Gulf shrimp.
Gulf shrimp.
Regular Spanish white onions, all of these type things going in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
We'll add a little bit of salt,
All right.
some pepper, and some house-made Old Bay seasoning.
Okay, so you're not using the stuff from the can. You're mixing this yourself in home.
I'm mixing it myself.
Okay.
A little bit of garlic for some extra flavor. And we'll just add some butter.
Yeah, because that always makes everything better.
Oh yeah, everybody loves butter.
So mix this together.
So we're gonna mix this up.
Well, from putting it together as, traditional low country boils, you're using the big vat, a lot of water working overtime. It's great for big parties, but this seems to be real simple.
This is much easier.
Yeah, somebody can make this at home.
You can even do it at home.
Yeah. All right, so we've got it in the foil.
And we'll wrap this up airtight.
Okay. So just basically making like a pouch.
Making a little pouch, little bowl for your plate.
Okay.
Just like so.
All right, and once you get it done here, just gonna throw it on a grill in the oven.
We're gonna put it in the oven about 10 minutes on 350.
All right, well, let's go throw this in the grill because I can't wait to see it.
Sounds good.
All right.
And here it is.
All right, I am looking forward to this. So just peel back the foil.
Peel back the foil, open it up, and enjoy.
What we've got here. Set the butter to the side here. Oh wow. See the steam just rolling off of it.
Oh yeah.
That is
that looks
awesome.
Delicious.
You got a little lemon wedge here. We'll garnish it with.
Squeeze of lemon.
Yep. And then butter. Josh, this is awesome, man. What other items are you guys using throughout the restaurant? I know you mentioned the fish tacos, but excuse me because I'm going to eat this. But
Go right
what are
ahead.
some things that you guys use as far as ingredient wise?
Well, we get fresh vegetables, like I said, all the time. We use fresh asparagus, green beans, and broccoli as side items on our dishes. And we use it, you can get a side for anything.
This is delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I know your customers are going to be excited tonight when they get ready to try this out. Folks, again, like I said, this is Copper's Grill, Lake Martin, Dadeville, Alabama. It's located in Stillwaters. Come check them out. You guys are open Wednesday through Sunday. So come enjoy this. This is an easy recipe that you can try at home and check it out. And if you want any more questions or recipes, look at bonnieplants.com.
If you have a gardening question, drop Sidney an email at simplysouthern@alafarm.com and he may answer it on an upcoming show. Of course, you can always visit bonnieplants.com for new ideas and additional information.
Thanks for being with us again this week, but we're out of time, folks. I hope you'll join us again next week when we're off to a rodeo, but you wouldn't dare try to ride one of these critters.
And we'll meet a Dallas County coffee roaster who's trying to not only wake up people's senses, but also their souls. Before we go, here are links to some of the stories we featured on today's show. And I'm going to enjoy some more cookies. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. We'll see you again next week.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.